things in our society and some things in our world for which I'm proud to be maladjusted.
Pretty much.
And I call upon all
We're
men
alive.
of goodwill to be maladjusted to these things until the good society is realized. I must honestly say to you that I never intend to adjust myself to racial segregation and discrimination. I never intend to adjust myself to religious bigotry. I never intend to adjust myself to economic conditions that will take necessities from the many to give luxuries to the few.
It doesn't push out the thing as much. It's weird like that.
We're live.
Okay. Last is that'd be badass. As I can see, I'm going through the motion of like tweeting it out and this word too, and put it to all my social medias as well too. Welcome to the Alchemy Bench. It's the same regular irregulars. We have like the Summer and the Geek. Over there is like John Brockman, who's a cat, and we also are joined by Isaiah Taylor.
Isaiah is very upset that President Summer died.
Yes.
Summer?
Yeah.
Or President Snow.
President Snow from Hunger Games.
You got to go exactly backward.
I was like, where are you going with this? Okay, he sure was a president in one of this movie. We're talking about the actor Donald Sutherland, who did pass away.
Any of you guys fans of the movie Outbreak?
I've heard of it. That's the one with the guy from Rhinestone Cowboy.
The
Graduate.
Dennis Hopper.
No, Dennis. God damn it! This is just
Dennis Hoffman.
Dustin
Dustin Hoffman. There we go.
Dustin Hoffman. Yes.
Dennis Hopper was in the bad Mario Brothers movie.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Also in Speed.
Yes.
Yes, he was in Speed. Yes.
And I don't mean the drug.
Oh wait, no,
he was also in Waterworld.
Yeah,
that's right. He was.
That movie was a train wreck, and he was the best part of it.
I thought Kevin Costner was in Waterworld.
He was.
Kevin Costner. Yes.
Dennis Hopper was the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. It's such a Waterworld, such a strange movie, and was just like
they had to CGI out Kevin Costner's bald spot.
It's also pretty unrealistic because
it's entirely unrealistic. Sea
that...
level rise won't cover the entire fucking planet.
There's not that much ice on the planet.
The only piece of dry land left now is Mount Everest.
also, wait, hold on. There's another huge inconsistency with that movie. If there's all that fucking water, why isn't like when he goes to the surface, that should be fucking like exotic ice because of all the water pressure. So there's that scene where he was dying. Like you wouldn't even survive, man.
Hello, Mithro. Evening, Mithro. How are you doing?
Hey, Mithro.
Still British?
I think so.
Tell him I heard on CNN that the Tories are gonna like get their.
Are you watching Atlantis?
Me?
I'm trying to figure out the cartoon on the monitor in the background there.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or Treasure Planet.
No, it's Iron Giant.
Oh, okay.
Isaiah already said that earlier.
Okay. Well, I was doing stuff.
This shows you how much you pay attention to the show.
The scene where it's like they launch the missile and they're the tearjerker scene.
Mm-hmm. The tearjerker scene, that's like so specific. There's so many of them. Well, it's like towards the end. So the tearjerker scene towards the end, that'll help. So yeah, how's everyone been doing?
I'm good.
7.
Went to the model train show yesterday.
Nice. Saw any model trains?
Yeah, I put some pictures on the internet.
Oh, nice. Is that on your Galactic Cosplay Crafts Instagram?
It's on Facebook.
Oh, okay, you're on Facebook. I see. Yeah. I don't know. Did I see that somewhere? Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. Grandson has like started to walk and keep an eye on him. Okay, I see. I understand if you are distracted then.
Oh, okay. Another colonialist. Ah, just keep him from walking toward the brown countries, and that'll, or Ireland, or Scotland, or Wales, or Normandy. Make him walk in circles. George
Hey, George
P.
P. So work is interesting because now I got a lead. So before I had a manager and a supervisor, but now I have a lead on top of that too. Yeah, the managers have not been happy with the performance in the stockroom as well too. So now I got someone who's now another person that's in charge of me. He went on a private march with his mom this morning. I see. So you're indoctrinating your like grandson to be gay already. How dare you?
My mom tried to make me gay.
Right?
Saw a lot of
How?
musical theater in middle school.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to be, I kind of wanted to do theater, but I didn't do it because my
Says the guy
dad.
who's actively trying to work in film and television. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I didn't do it because I thought my dad would think like it was like being a like it was too feminine, so I didn't.
Hmm.
Do
Mhm.
Well, it's not that theater is feminine. It's that theater is and has always been super duper queer.
Yeah,
Mhm. Again, it's the kind of thing where it's just like the outcasts all go there. And so they just like they act out their fantasies like I having friends. Um
Or
but
their
no,
fantasy
it's
of having friends, like
yes.
having, just having them. Or just cuddling,
Yeah.
puddling.
Right. But no, so yeah, at work is also going to be interesting because okay, so like one thing there's going to be like weekly meetings, okay, weekly meetings trying to think of like how can we improve things as well too, or like is there something we can do right now to like improve the process as well too, is okay, but also it's like what I also hate that they said that my manager said at this meeting that there's always something to do. I
It,
don't know if this is their
time
subtle
to
way
lean,
of
time to clean.
yeah, and I hate that. And I'm not sure if I'm going to mention that or not or at some point or another.
Don't
But
bother.
it's like
Management doesn't want to hear constructive criticism. Not even if you put it in the form of a compliment sandwich.
but like I'm often honest about like with myself about like working in or what I do in lyrics. It's like the lead that it usually improves sales morale. But well, here is all another thing is that like and so I've been in that stock room since like 2013 or something like that. So like about like 11 years or like more. And yet and to everyone else colloquially, it's just pretty much I'm in charge of that room because like I'm the last man standing as well too. So as if like stock room goes by Highlander rules and I cut off everyone else's heads.
you
Um
said that geek. I immediately went to Billy Joe's. I'm still standing. Yeah.
yeah. So
I'm sorry
and no
if
problem.
I just talk and I just start singing.
That I do that. Well, my brain always do that too. Someone says we're halfway there. I think, whoa,
Living on a prayer.
So yeah, this is why I should be in theater because I do shit like that.
just break out the musical song as well too.
Yep.
I was in theater, but like I was told not to sing, explicitly told not to sing.
Well, yeah, for very good reason.
And also my drama teacher and the director had like their sibling for like years, and like they have the same singing talent. So yeah, uh, um, but like, but yeah, I don't know. Now, granted, at work, people like my supervisor has walk in on me as I'm playing fork knife in the stock room when I guess I would yes I should be working since I'm on the clock as well too, and he didn't say anything about me playing fork knife, so it's like they're aware I watch Twitch on like the clock at work and stuff like that, but like with the thinking of like there's always something to do, or like let's like do things. Let's have weekly minis to make sure that we're like keeping up with things and like always improving stuff like that. I wonder if it's like you're saying like stop slacking it off and actually do work.
Just because there's nothing to do in the stockroom doesn't mean there's nothing for you to do. You could always scrub the toilets.
I mean, in a way, I agree that there's a lot of things to do, but I'm only paid $20 an hour, and sometimes I'm just like don't have the energy and just don't care. I'm not going to like fully commit to like for the 8 hours or how many hours I'm there to be working. I'm actually am working. I don't know if I am going to say that to my manager or not, but let's just like, yeah, I'm not looking forward to change, but also it's like. I kind of like accept it. It's like I guess I'm not lead material then. I don't know. Well, it's also like everyone else around the plot just like that interact with Sakura and interact with me knows that like they basically said that like Jonathan's pretty much in charge of this room. My title does not reflect that. Now, not only does like do I have a manager and like a supervisor, which I'm like fine with as well too, but also I now have a lead who's in charge of me,
Yep.
and it is like despite being in charge of the stockroom or like just know everything inside of it as well too, I'm still just a warehouse clerk. Despite being
That's
like
because the
in that
people who do things are never the people who are in charge of things.
yeah.
Agreed.
So that's going to be an interesting change, and it's like I think it's like my lead is now just going to basically like every so once in a while check on me and make sure I'm doing stuff first or too, or like see asking what have I done today, and yeah, and I'm
Who is the lead related to? That's my question. I'm
she
just
was
guessing that they felt the need to hire a family for something.
no. That she was like already working in the assembly department too. She was like the lead for the area, liquid optimal bonding, which like has like doesn't have as much work as it used to. So it's just like she just basically now she just has more duties.
Yeah,
I yes. I don't know. I don't know if they think I stink as well too. But it's just like is often it's just well also it's like the problems is with the new system that we have where it's like I don't know why I was told that like oh it's a good thing Jonathan you're not going to have a hot list okay how the fuck am I supposed to know what to get next and so it's like I'm used to like getting like a hot list from like production control about like here's the jobs that they want me to get and with Epicor don't have to do that anymore. But yet the process of the like a workstation or workboard in the program and to like tell me oh this is like it at least sounds like I mean kind of yeah a taskmaster similar thing where it's like they don't have like actual much like work to do
bullshit
like that.
jobs.
So
All
they
right, for
do
some reason, I have the Backstreet Boys stuck in my head. Not Backstreet Boys. Justin Timberlake's group. NSYNC?
Yeah.
instinct.
Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heart, 'cause I want it that way.
They were
I thought
asking
that
for
wa-
anal.
I am so sorry.
John Broadbent's not.
Never
I-
apologize for gross humor.
Say
No. Tell me why is like the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, it is. Okay.
I want it that way. That's the song.
I want it that way too.
Insync did Bye Bye Bye.
There you go.
Bye, bye. Oh,
Baby, bye, bye, bye. Yep, you're right.
Yes.
you guys
Uh,
know NSYNC was arrested for like DUI.
Yep,
I can
Justin
believe that.
Timberlake. He was stoned out of his ass. How the hell are you going to have chauffeur money and get pulled over for a DUI?
Oh, they want to. Some people just like, despite having as much money as they want, they just want to like feel independent by driving themselves around, or had to be a bother on the others. But like,
They have,
Justin
a lot of money, but they can't even, I guess, by calling Uber. Okay.
Yes, and yes, like John Tropy, Aslan Rollins did have like a live stream yesterday, and like I almost missed it too. John Tropy, if I can probably get you an invite to like Aslan Rollins like Discord server, like
They did
set up
not
as-
make a Beverly Hills 902 or Beverly Hills Cop 4. How could they do that? Ugh.
They think that the movie executives thinks that like a Beverly Hills Cop 4 will be marketable enough to be profitable.
Yeah. No, I know why they did it. The audacity of the caucasity. All right. Now,
Yeah, we should call it them the back passage boys, so we're definitely singing about Dangle.
Okay.
Oh,
so stop. Okay. So speaking of that DUI, if you look over on the stream, you'll see a photo.
yes.
Who is that?
Oh, okay. From Beverly Hills 90210, Jason Presley.
Yep. Because the reason I'm putting that up is because I'm going to show you another photo. And you can recognize that guy, the person who we were just talking about.
Yeah, that's Justin Timberlake. Yeah,
Yeah.
they look very similar.
White
honestly.
people all look exactly the same.
Both have blue eyes too.
Just that Timberlake's hair goes to his right, and Priestley's hair goes to his left.
Justin Timberlake, I was kind of thinking of like, where are they now? Well, Justin Timberlake's right now, like, they're probably just like in like probation or something.
He's starring
like
in Timberlake. He's going to get probation. Nothing bad's going to happen to him.
Exactly.
Jason Priestley is starring in very, very mediocre movies with what's her name, Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh yeah, it's another white girl.
He's moved
Isaiah.
downhill to Hallmark movies.
I do have a crush on what Elizabeth
Clarissa?
What? Yeah.
Or Sabrina.
Yeah.
I never watched
So
that.
I know I can actually tell you where. Wait, have I already told you the story of how I got attracted to white girls? Have I told you guys that story?
You grew up in a white
Maybe.
supremacist society.
No.
You watched The Craft or something like that. Or Cruel
no.
Intentions.
Have
Go ahead.
I can't talk. My tongue's coming out.
It gets you thirsty.
No, there was let me get a drink of water.
Okay. Oh, so as like it does that, and like I'll give say a chance to talk like when he comes back. I remember also what happened this week. I thought Noam Chomsky died. So did a lot of people. Because like what did happen that he was hospitalized, but like someone on Facebook said RIP like Noam Chomsky. Okay, no, I was
He had a severe stroke, wasn't it?
It's for us a severe stroke, yeah.
Okay, so I remember back in 2005, a friend of mine from my after school program took me to see the 2005 Hitchhikers Up the Galaxy movie.
Oh yeah.
So you fell in love with
Zoe
Deschanel.
Yes. So
The original Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
I blame Zoe Deschanel for that.
Well, she has the biggest, bluest eyes.
No, that's true.
Either that, I think Alexandra Daddario has her kind of beat.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
But Alexandra Daddario has the hourglass figure, whereas Zoe Deschanel is more waifish.
Yeah, that's true.
Which makes her more similar to your permanent love interest, the Canadian skater girl.
Yeah.
Avril Beat. Hey, Karok.
Well, so I guess I have an excuse whenever I guess a black guy says, "Well, you're into white Quakers," I just say, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah,
I was impressionable, and I saw a movie in a white supremacist culture.
No, there's that. Yeah, you can easily just say that because, like, yes, we do live in a white supremacist society.
Yeah.
That was actually part of Brown v. Board was a bundle of cases, and one of the lawsuits that got bundled into that originated here in South Carolina, and there was a very famous psychology thing where they asked black school children to pick which doll they would prefer to play with, a white baby doll or a black baby doll, and they picked the white baby doll. And when asked why they chose that one, they pointed at the black baby doll and said, "That one's the mirror."
Well, it's also how like certain countries like would certain countries that are not white, how like they would treat black folks even if they're not white, like Asian countries, because
Yeah.
white or colonialism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like her in the new girl, but stop watching the show because
yeah,
it was
that was
way too
entirely
hetero for
hetero.
me. Yeah.
But it also deconstructs the Manic Pixie Dream Girl thing because her life is a fucking mess.
I did not post that.
It was a fun little show, but it was entirely unrepresentative of LA in that there were no queer people.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Friends was, like, somehow New York is entirely white and half Jewish.
Yes.
It's funny when people talk back. So apparently, that like when Friends came out, people were like complaining that it was too Jewish. I don't understand prejudice necessarily. I don't get racism and things. How did people think Friends was too Jewish? Can someone explain this?
Ross and
get it.
Monica are both Jewish, and Rachel is coded as a Jewish princess.
Yes.
Okay, and
That's half the cast.
Yes.
When they make up a small portion of the U.S. And the primary writers, the head writers, the showrunners were also Jewish.
you want to know what?
And at the same time, you also have Seinfeld, which
Okay.
is kind of a Jew name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact is that the U.S. is deeply anti-Semitic, and they have the stereotypes of Hollywood being run by the Jews.
That's something that my uncle-in-law actually literally said, which is because he was upset that the Passion of the Christ did not get any nominations.
But I thought we weren't anti-Semitic because of all the laws we're passing.
And our support of Israel. But no, it's just that it's just they both are culturally, ethnically. The writing of both of those shows was very Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to tell. I couldn't tell, but okay.
There's a family dynamic that comes across.
Yeah,
I guess.
It's actually
No, I don't because like when people would say, "Oh, it's too," I like, "Oh, yeah, well, okay." See, that's the thing about anti-Semitism. It's like, who's Jewish and who's not? Like, what? Like I can't.
You can tell.
I can't.
It's the noses.
No. Rachel got a nose job when she was in high school. She had a deviated septum.
So,
like I said, coded Jewish American princess.
If I wasn't black, could you tell I have big lips?
Maybe there are some people
not from
that
the
have
way
big
you talk, but
Oh,
yeah, Carol. I just opened my door to deal with the heat. It's open right now, and hopefully there's no noises in the background or like a car going off wrong. They happened before on stream where
you live in the Pacific Northwest. Shush.
True. Yeah, and it's not. We're not going to get a heat dome anytime soon. We could, but right now it's the East Coast is getting a heat dome.
So
bit of West Coast style.
So I am all done with my Guy Bluford outfit.
Nice.
And now I'm working on my next project, the RMS Cappadocia.
Nice. Since you brought up the a meme, so first of all, left this. I was in the middle of mentioning that the world for a moment, including me, I thought that Noam Chomsky died, but I believe that because like a friend posted on Facebook RP Jordan Strowski, so I was like, what?
Mhm.
Did he finally died? And
The
then it's
dude's like 98 years old, so
95. But like and so that's why I thought maybe okay, the only trusted father died. He's 95. I'm surprised he's still alive at this point anyway. But I also Googled Noam Chomsky news and I did see some articles on Jacobin and like Independent and other sources basically eulogizing about Noam Chomsky. So I thought he did die, but then like it's like apparently that was like preemptive from someone as well too. So like either they have the articles ready at the hall in case like Norm Scott dies, or someone or someone was willing to quickly write it up because like when I tried to someone like said, wait a minute, did Norm Scott die? Because like the Wikipedia article have not been updated. It's like so then I tried to link the things. It's like, oh wait, those articles are no longer there. They took them down within like the hour that like I posted, oh, RRP Norm Chomsky, and someone asked, wait, did he die? And it's like, well, here's this, and it's like, wait, no, that article's not there anymore. And then like it was confirmed later, no, he's not dead, he's just been hospitalized. And but yeah, speaking of that, like we mentioned it, RRP Donald Sutherland as well too. The only acting movies I've seen him in was the remake of the Italian Job. Um, I did see Space Cowboys, even though, I mean, it's just like it's okay. That's the best I can say about like Space Cowboys. I like it, but it's just okay.
So there's a just in it.
Yeah. I did see the first Hunger Games, and he was in that as well too. No,
he did a good job in the Hunger Games movies. He is generally just a very good actor. He was also in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
The movie
bad
or
movie.
the TV show? Oh, the movie. Yeah, I did see that movie.
He was in a time
along with Rutger Hauer. How did they get those two powerhouses for that script? Well, maybe they saw the original script, not the one that.
He was also in A Time to Kill.
I haven't seen A Time to Kill. I did see Animal House though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got to see his butt in that movie.
Yes,
he
we
was
did.
much younger in that one.
Yes, he was.
We also
and just like
to...
he was much younger in the movie MASH, which is like I agree with like CGI. It's not that great a movie, honestly.
Let's see, he was in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh yeah.
You can't see me, but I'm pointing at my monitor. that's the face.
So yeah, it's
I mean, he just had a long career, and he generally made good choices, with the notable exception of Space Cowboys and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I mean, hold on, with Space Cowboys, he was also co-star with Clint Eastwood, Tommy Lee Jones, and James. Damn, what was the fourth one's name? James something. He was like in the 1994 Maverick movie with like Mel Gibson.
I know you're
Malcolm
talking
McDowell.
About, it's no. James Gardner.
James Gardner, yes, exactly.
I remember nothing about this movie.
Very young Jeff Goldblum was also in that. In Animal House? Which movie are we talking about? A very young Jeff Goldblum.
We're talking about
Body Snatchers?
Must be Body Snatchers.
Probably. We also see Karen Allen's like a button in the too much button period in that film. In Animal House, yes. Well, there was a lot of butts.
A lot of people showed their asses in that.
Yeah. I haven't seen The Time to Kill, so I wouldn't know. And that's right. Like Keith Sutherland is this like a son, and Keith Sutherland will like just attack a Christmas tree if you just ask him to, because when he gets drunk, he often will do that as well too. And I think he probably has a bit of a problem with alcoholism because of the number of DUIs he has. Hold on. This has been years ago, so maybe he's been sober since. I don't know anything about that as well too. And like that's hopefully the people that like are in their addiction and like get out. But kind of like how Steve-O, who's like one Jackass guys, he's been like out of addiction for like 16 years in sobriety. So good for him. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. It's just so Keith Sutherland still alive. Really liked him in Dark City. Dark City was just a hell of a movie, though.
He was also in Lost Boys, which is a movie I have not seen.
I have not seen him in Lost Boys.
But Sutherland, Kiefer has, I mean, he has a face that's made for intense villains.
Yes.
Like in
And
24.
yeah, I agree. He's the villain.
He's a cop. But
Yes.
he's just
He's a federal cop, so like one of the worst cops that you could have.
But yeah, he's really good at it's those icy blue eyes.
Yes.
And he's really good at keeping his face like really still, psychopath style.
Yeah.
First time I remember seeing him in a movie was probably alongside Reese Witherspoon.
And tell you.
It was sort of a sort of a darker, edgier whatcha-thing, Little Red Riding Hood. You know, she's a girl from the ghetto. She's going to her grandmother's house. Her boyfriend gives her a basket of goodies, and then she goes out hitchhiking, gets picked up by Kiefer Sutherland, who tries to rape her.
What a movie!
Yeah.
I did like the 24 the show when I was watching it, but of course by then I wasn't critical of the like a imperialist system as the USSA, and like, but even then I think that like people were talking about like you're showing a lot of brown people as the villains in this one, except for the one rare time where it was the Russians. So it's just like if it's not like Islamic terrorists and it's the Russians, and it's just like why
Freeway.
back to the well.
Freeway, starring Kiefer Sutherland and Reese Witherspoon. A twisted take on Little Red Riding Hood, with a teenage juvenile delinquent on the run from a social worker traveling to her grandmother's house, being hounded by a charming but sadistic serial killer and pedophile.
You got further.
She goes to prison, and somebody tries to have sex with her, a girl, and then they escape from prison. And she says, "I'd hook up with you anytime." They got in a fight over the attempted lesbianism. And she says, "No, I only do that on the inside." It's a very 1996 movie.
Probably, yeah. And Mithril, don't give Hollywood any ideas. Don't give Hollywood any ideas of like making a super remake of like Don't Look Now or anything like that. They'll probably will do it. They'll just like randomly make remakes of like the things. It's like, wow, you didn't think that they'll go remake that as well too. But like, hey, even though sometimes they will just like completely like spoil the whole movie in like the trailer as well too. Like, When a Stranger Calls. But then again, it's just like I don't know how to like advertise.
I remember not being able to sleep after seeing When a Stranger Calls.
Oh, the first one with like
I think it was the second one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's see. But moving to another topic I want to like talk about. What so this is like I kind of like got the idea of this one, The Wicker Man. Yeah, that's where like why did Hollywood have to remake that? Because it's just yeah. Why am I not surprised that J.K. Rowling is trying to do that? It's like hey, okay, so like I think Kirok, I have not seen the original Wicker Man, but the thing is just like if we have seen the original Wicker Man, then like nothing will compare to like that one as well too, especially with like the sequel, which like even if we haven't seen the original Wicker Man, I don't think the remake would with like Nicolas Cage would work on as well work as intended. Yeah, not the beast. Ah, they're in my eyes.
Let's be honest. I mean, Nicolas Cage has done some good work, but he would not be where he is today, if his name were not Coppola.
True, yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, exactly.
I'm making a note here. Huge success.
Yes, Gladys. So I wanted to change topics a little bit. Because like on Siege Guys Ask Away, there was like someone who like asked the question, the Thinking Cat. Which like I'll read out the question as a word too. We don't have to like answer this question because Siege kind of answer it. Do you think that the Islamic unwokeness is a problem with why a mainstream support of multiple conflicts across the world, Gaza to Sudan to Chechnya to Pakistan, as someone who has come in conflict with some pretty obnoxious Sunni Muslims in like reading Berkshire?
Could you share like a link to this or copy paste it in chat?
I'll copy and paste it into like our Zoom call. It's like too long to like copy paste into like the
chat. Okay.
the YouTube chat. So there's that in the Zoom call. It's basically now the point about maybe Hamas or like other Muslim organizations have orthodox views of things and have like fundamentalist views and like are anti-LGBTQ plus because of that as well too. As I think we're wrong. There's like it's not cool to be like we're in the wrong. I'm not sure about Hamas, so but like
Well,
I can.
Islamic countries spans a huge swath of the world.
Yes.
They're 1/7 of the world population, give or take. We're talking, from Morocco to Malaysia. And they have a complicated interaction with various types of queerness.
I mean, hell, Christianity has a very complicated interaction with various types of queerness.
But because these are Muslim, we're taught not to like them.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I don't think Islamic unwokeness is. I'm trying to parse what they're trying to get. There's a problem with wide mainstream support of the multiple conflicts across the world. Blah blah blah.
Okay, I'll see if I can see what they're talking about. A couple weeks ago, I was watching The View and I was watching, I think Bill Maher was on it.
Well, there's that problem there.
Yeah, but he was talking, he was making a lot of genocide points about how we should just kill all the Palestinians because they don't have our views. They don't believe the same they don't believe they don't believe women are equal. So we should just kill them because they don't think women are equal. It's
well, I mean, obviously the Fash are going to weaponize our opposition to bigotry against the people they're bigoted against.
Right. Well, it's white feminism. That's what it is. It's weaponizing white feminism because white feminism is the whole thing about, oh, everyone, burqas are bad, bikinis are good. That's
well, that was also we weaponized white feminism from invasion in Iraq or being in Afghanistan for so long. Not saying that the Taliban is great on women religion. It has gotten worse since they took control, but yeah, in order to bring about feminism to white feminism and to places, is we should not be bombing the places as well too, and that's the point that Steve Shives make. Okay, so maybe Hamas has not great views on queer people. That doesn't mean that they deserve to be genocide.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Steve Shives said that Palestinian people should not be genocide because of Hamas's views on queer people. That's clear.
I think I can finally parse that question kind of long and rambly. That is it more difficult to have empathy for those people who are suffering oppression because they are also anti-woke.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, yeah, that is going to be a problem. And I think that the supporters of Israel do weaponize that as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, Western nations aren't they're better, but they're not as good as they like to say they are.
I agree.
That's the thing of it's like what Bill Maher was saying about women in Middle East countries. It's Pakistan elected a woman president. We still haven't done that here in America. So your argument kind of falls apart. I mean, and the whole Taliban thing, that's just religion. I mean, there's religious fundamentalists in this fucking country who love the Taliban. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
they'll probably still the religious fundamentalists in this country probably disagree with Sharia law, but they are in favor of the patriarchy, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, Louis Farrakhan and I don't think they were friends, but I mean Louis Farrakhan and some neo-Nazis had ideals that intersected. So
they both wanted black people out of the U.S.
Yeah, but
I'm not going anywhere. So
yeah, exactly. Neither are the indigenous people. They're not dying either. So long as they can help it. But the only reason I actually brought up that question is not because of the question itself, because Steve Shives answered that. It's just okay, yeah, there may be some big good people in Palestine and something like that, but that doesn't mean that it should be genocide. Just like how There are Nazis in Ukraine, which is why Russia invaded, according to Putin. But that's not a good enough reason either, because there are Nazis here in the USA. Should we be invaded because we have Nazis here?
I also fail to understand why killing them would somehow be a protection against a protection like a win for LGBT rights. It'll just make you a more hated group because
Yeah.
you just killed all these other people, and that it'll just make you more hated. That's what's happening with Israel. I mean, with the Jewish people, they're not they, but people are. It's like people are weaponizing anti-Semitism in the guise of fighting anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
And all it's just going to do is just make people just not like Jewish people anymore because.
Oh, well, yeah. But many people have like.
See, that's the goal. That's the goal, though. You got to understand how this kind of lunacy works. The goal is to make religious people a victim. So the whole God, Jesus coming back, it all fits the narrative. Make them a victim, make them more of a victim, so Jesus can just get off his ass and come down and get his kids. Right now, this conflict, I feel like we're witnessing the end of religion. We're literally seeing
I doubt that.
These three death cults.
We're seeing the death of certain branches of some religions.
Yeah.
And
I'm all for it. We are witnessing the death of the death cults, and I'm
no. Believe me, Isaiah. Believe me, Isaiah. There will always be death cults. There will just be newer ones. There'll be just different ones.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, like, think about this. There used to be like the Webster Baptist Church that we know of, because they will go to like soldiers like funerals and say that they're baby killers, or well, no, they said something else. They like the defenders of like gay people or that sort of thing.
A few months ago, they got chased the fuck away from a funeral.
Good.
Nice of them. But now they're like some of their radical views or reactionary views, not radical.
Oh right, it was the Oh yeah, I'm not going to tell that story. It's very sad, but.
Now their views are just like the mainstream of the Thugland Party, honestly. So you mentioned how like this sort of thing, like even Israel is trying to think it's like, well, listen, we're trying to be like cool for queer people, for queer population, which is why we're doing that. They're doing
cough if they're white, cough, and Jewish, cough.
Yes, but like. I just like linked an article from like a decolonial palestine in their like rainbow washing like thing. I thought rainbow washing was just all about like this sort of thing too, but they separated by the colors of the different washing.
I thought pink washing was when they do that with women's stuff, and rainbow washing was queer stuff.
Maybe, but no. This article that's like said is referring to like when a state appeals to LGBTQI plus rights in order to
deflect attention. Yeah, a lot of people. I remember I can't remember what podcast or show it was on. A Palestinian lesbian talked about her time in Israel at university. And I was like, well, you should just stay here and convert. Because obviously we're so much better about queer stuff than Palestine. You should convert. And they were just horrifically bigoted against her for being a Palestinian. And that did not make it okay for her to be a lesbian there.
Yes, exactly. But like the actual real point that I wanted to like bring up that question that someone asked us each guys wasn't because of the question itself, because like it ended with like the empathy for the plight of others if they seem so counter to liberal views we hold so dear. What are liberal views?
Marshmallow lovers. Thanks to Reagan, liberal is the replacement term for marshmallow lover.
Yeah.
So basically, liberal now means progressive. For exactly. The liberals, that's what it means. For Republicans, it means marshmallow lover.
I get it now.
Yeah.
N-word lover,
I try not even to.
You say N-word lover because when you go Smurshmer, unless we know what to use, Smurshmer means N-word or something like that.
I think following a 2-syllable schmer with lover makes it. I would hope that was clear, but yeah.
No, it's not. It's not.
We now know. You figured it out. But
it's not. So please, like, use N-word lover instead, because like people know what N-word means.
But it sounds stupid.
Okay, so what? Yes, it is stupid. Like bigotry is stupid. Yes.
But
anyway.
But yeah, for liberals, liberal now means progressive.
Yeah, so where it's like for me, it's just like because of now what I know of what like liberalism is like
When
and
you
how
take it in
like
a broader historical context. For communists, it means everyone from Jimmy Carter to Mitt Romney.
yeah, exactly, and including Margaret Thatcher and like Ronald Reagan as well too.
Yep.
Yes, they are all those are liberals because for liberalism, as in like a non-radical like a political position as well too.
Yeah, but in the context of that question, it seems to me
It's
that
just
liberal
progressive.
values means generally progressive, open, free society, not realizing we're run by oligarchs.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like my sibling like kind of said that's well too. I can't like scroll through my notifications. I hate that as well too. So I'm gonna have to like find my posts as well too about this. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, I mean my older sibling kind of said like mainline established Democrat kind of like views, like we were saying like progressive as well too. Um. Yeah, it's very in line with like Biden and Pelosi. Someone don't realize how the rest of their politics actually are because in their mind they are more left than the other side. Yeah, just because you're left of the
Yeah,
Republican Party,
if you're to the left of the party to which there is no further right, that's not a huge bar to step over. All right. So if you check in the stream, you'll see that I have put up a thing. Apparently, AOC called out AIPAC, the American Israeli Political Action Committee. The overwhelming majority of Congress votes with their constituents to support the America-Israel relationship. And she says, "Is that why you spent nearly $20 million, the most in primary history, to in-seat one of the handful of reps who don't vote the way you tell them to? Is that why you announced a $100 million spend overall? If AIPAC positions were so popular, they'd be free. Instead, they're bought." I don't know if that's a real tweet. It's very easy to doctor tweets. But if so, then I expect that the next week will be full of the news calling her anti-Semitic.
Yep,
Because anytime you talk about Jews and money,
the gaslighting is the gaslighting, right? The gaslighting gas itself.
and yes, AIPAC, the various lobbying interests, they do spend a lot of money to support Israel, and so does the military-industrial complex. Because we send a lot of weapons to Israel to keep them, because like they are, I mean, numerically inferior to the people who surround them, but so technologically overwhelming. That's why they're still alive. If we stopped sending them money, Israel would be, or stop sending them weapons, Israel would be gone in a decade.
Well, they're about to invade Lebanon now. Thoughts?
Almost certainly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be surprised if they also went to war with Iran. Because the U.S. wants war with Iran.
They're gonna get their asses kicked.
If Trump wins in November, which it looks like he's leading Biden in the polls. Then yeah, there'll be war with Iran.
Oh, PS5.
And I think that it won't be Israel leading the charge; it'll be the U.S. leading the charge on behalf of Israel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, still on the topic of liberal views, our patron Ely kind of responded to my Blue Sky post as well too, from like his like Danish standpoint as well too. I'll also put it in our Zoom call as well too.
Although the U.S. goes to war with I'm sorry, but if the U.S. goes to war against Iran because of Israel, it will be the most pointless war in human history. Because like it will be like a crusade. It will be like a modern crusade.
The continuation of our crusade in Iraq.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna stay my ass home and watch the whole thing on TV. I'm like, look at all the religious troglodytes killing each other. Yay!
I'm still in the point where it's just like, unfortunately, I don't know we can like get rid of religion in this like whole world and stuff like that because like the people still just want to believe in like something. Now I just like it being organized and like how to do about like in religion unorganized or something like that, going after the institutions maybe as we're I don't know.
What's the one true religion? Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Mhm.
Star
I don't
Trek is
care.
woke, as always has been. But I just prefer Star Wars personally. I've never been able to get into Star Trek.
We need to have a holy war against the Jedi. Like Trekkies versus the Jedi. We need to have a holy war.
I don't know. I like to be a Jedi because I like to be a ninja or a samurai. Even though, like I don't know if the samurai is like any better,
Okay,
honestly.
okay, Tom Cruise.
Is but yeah, he's not the last samurai. He was in his Ken Watanabe. But anyway, but like you can't have the movie it be about like a Japanese person. But like so Ely kind of like responded that like they used to be like seeing themselves as liberal, generally based on the ideology of freedom, equality, and fraternity, and believing like that like of equal opportunities. So that's yeah, like they very progressive. And it's like so Ely did believe they bought in the hook, line, and sinker the like liberal values and views that like if you work hard enough, you could raise to the top of society. And any failure to do so was due to laziness or lack of willpower. I acknowledge that people will be impressed on the basis of race, disability, and sexuality, but I never saw it as like that it happened in my country. Which maybe it wasn't true. It wasn't happening in Denmark on a systematic level as well, too. But Ely does they say, however, honestly, had I not been disabled, I believe I'll still had the thought that way. And however, these kinds of views are hard to maintain when you keep getting denied opportunities because you have a disability. Sooner or later, you have to come to realize the problem isn't you, it's a system that needs to be dismantled and rebuilt so it benefits all people, not just a narrow sliver of population. He wish with the Hoopians contemplating which side to like fight on. Yeah, exactly. The Hoopians, they don't know because
Okay,
like
no, look, I mean, Doctor Who is for little kids. Star Wars is for grown men.
that's why George Lucas included Jar Jar Binks.
He wanted to get that Ewok money.
Yeah, exactly. They created the comic, the TV show, and like well, a cartoon and like a couple movies.
The
Is
holiday
the
special.
Ewok movies and the whole the Ewoks movie being filmed in the Pacific Northwest, like evergreen forests. I like all those I'm all of those fandoms. That's okay, George R.P. That's totally
You're
cool.
Pan Fanuel.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like Star Wars is soap opera, but I like that for this word too. And like, no, okay, Kirok, no, Star Trek can be sci-fi soap opera too. I mean, how often are we going worry about the relationships in like the crew of like Deep Space Nine or Enterprise?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, and we're also interested in who they're fucking in that show as well too. At least with Rick Berman's in charge.
Yep. Chief O'Brien fucks. Geordi does not, but that's just because he's an incel.
Did I actually post that as well too, or it's just like I have to refresh my account? What? Okay, something's wrong with like X or Twitter or something like that. Okay, no, I see it. Oh damn! I didn't post it on like X. Oh well, so like my Twitter followers are not gonna like
You mean
see
Twitter?
like. Yes, I did. Yes, I know. Shut up. It's so now what other things to talk about? Oh, you know what this question this time is inspired by Kirok. What is wealth?
Baby, don't hurt me.
That is what is love.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
wealth is used to hurt people too.
Well,
Well, yeah.
what is wealth? Baby, don't make me poor. Okay,
Wealth is anything you own that makes you money.
I'll stop.
Yeah, I agree. It's private property, but Kirok thinks that like you must have private property in order to have personal property. It's I don't know where to begin to explain how that wrong that is as well too. Because like if we had personal property for a long time before the concept of private property came to being about like 1400s or something like that, definitely got codified in like 1700s. But like and that's I think this also goes along like to a more extreme sense of how like many capitalists and like how does one taking luxury home and something $1 million home is like that. Why does someone needs a luxury home? Do you
Well, because they need to be able to masturbate to pictures of poor people suffering in lots of different rooms with air conditioning.
Hmm.
And they need to
I,
do that while watching the pool boy clean their pool.
I think this is something that like some people just like have a hard time like accepting or like thinking about as well too. There's some like
Would
Bob
it be
Chipton.
bad if I wanted a house where I could put all my quirky bullshit in my room? Would that be bad? Not a luxury home, but just like a regular home.
A regular home that's like just for you. We have six times as that's fine. I say that's fine. We have 6 times as many like people as homes as we have homeless people. So it's like
It's like under communism, you wouldn't lose your house. You might not even lose your like summer cottage or whatever.
It would be the government. It would be the people's house.
It's just that there would be no need for mansions. We would manage the land better because, like, the way we're using land now is so fucked.
it's
But
terrible.
with
How
degrowth
like,
and greening the fuck out of everything.
that's suburban. It's suburbs. I don't think suburbs are like maintainable, sustainable for the environment.
No.
We just gotta like radically rethink like how we are housed. Not necessarily like how specifically where we are working is where, but at least nearby.
Yeah. The 15-minute
the
city is basically a communist concept. They're not wrong to call it that. Just people should have walkable, livable communities. And I think one of the reasons, I've moved like 5 times in the last 4 years because rents keep going up and you have to, move and move and move and move. And I think that's kind of deliberate. It keeps us from forming communities.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, you're not going to invest in any area if you know you're just going to be out in 12 months.
Kirok, at this point, with how ubiquitous the internet is,
it is not a luxury. It was in 1992, in 1998 even, but not today. It is absolutely necessary for life.
So Kirok, which is also why I hate the framing of like this on these things. I don't know why someone needs a big house, honestly. So with that, and most people don't need a big house, but I can understand how like some people would need a house for themselves because like they just don't want to live with others, and like that's not a problem right now because again we have 6 times as many people as homeless people. Granted, yes, 4 people can live in a house, and or however many people can like live in a house because of like how many bedrooms are available. As well,
Kirok, I'm driving Uber, and there are a lot of people I drive to and from work. And they could not do that if they did not have internet access to get on the app. Our society is set up right now such that you need a car to get around. If you don't have a car, you can't get to work. They would end up homeless, and then they would die. It is absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
It's necessary to be able to find a job. It's necessary to be able to keep in touch with your family across the ridiculous scattering atomization of our bullshit culture. It's necessary in so many ways.
Yeah.
Under communism, it would probably be less necessary just because you would have an actual community, actual support. You would be able to get around. You wouldn't need all those needs in the same way. They would just be provided and available. So it would be less necessary in that way. Right now, it is absolutely necessary.
There's still the question of like what to do about like luxuries as well too. But it's
I mean, a lot of people want to travel. How would we manage that under communism? I mean, I think I would do that, sort of with a lottery system. It's like,
yeah, I can see that.
I think of it as like the inverse of the Hunger Games. Every turn you put in your name, and the more you put in your name, the more tickets you have, and thus the greater chance you have of winning.
Unless you work for the state, then you can get your stuff subsidized.
No, this is under communism.
This is under communism. We were talking about this without the state as well too. So we're not in favor of like the state as an institution as well too. Yet that's why people think that like communism only works with like 100% totalitarian government control of everything as well
Okay,
too.
it feels like you're kind of deliberately trying to misunderstand me now, Kirok. Lottery system, as in if people want a thing that isn't a basic need, but is an understandable desire, then you don't just let everybody do it willy-nilly because that would use up resources. But
right.
You try
it's
to
about, like,
you ration it out and let people try for it in a lottery system, meaning that there's no favoritism.
Yeah. And also here's the thing. Just try to imagine this, Kirok. What it is. So if I got this like Blue Yeti microphone on Amazon, and I paid I paid $100. So imagine there's not a price for that. But also, no matter what, I'm going to get it in like 5 or 6 days. No thing of like, but if you want it faster, you can pay this much. You want it faster, you pay this much. I just bought more like energy drinks, but I chose ground as well too, the cheapest option, honestly. So I'll get it in about like a week, which is fine, and also will save on like cost of transportation, like carbon footprint as well too. There's some people that like have like done studies about the environmental effect on like a 2-day shipping as well too, and that's probably is bad. Why do I need the like product right then and there? By having it be ground, then like several packages can be delivered with my package all in one trip, as opposed to like several trips of just like 1 or 2 packages as well too. But like I saw the prices, like I can, if I wanted that like energy drink powder mixes, like the next day, it would be like hundreds of dollars or something like that, because like you just pay more to get like sooner or something like that. What if we just have it set up where it's just like, oh, here's a Blue Yeti microphone, we have them on the shelf, hey, can I have one? I'm basically in the queue, and like it would be my turn, and based on first come first serve, and then I would just like get it. And again, if it has to be delivered again in the queue, they'll be delivered in 6 days or something like that. Or maybe I can just walk down and pick it up if I'm ready as well too. Yeah, but try to imagine that. Basically, try to imagine life without like any costs like that. Like there's, if we get a bill for electricity, what if that bill doesn't exist? Period. There's like rent have to pay. What if that just doesn't exist? Because rent is meaningless, honestly. It's just extortion. Because like landlords do not add any value as well too. If you give me $1,000 and I give you a Nintendo Switch, what value do I add to that transaction?
Nothing.
And in my ideal society, you'd have free food, free clothing, free housing, free healthcare, free education.
Yeah, all the basic necessities of life be free, including internet, including electricity, including like access to transportation as well.
Yep. I mean, I'm taking public transportation as a given.
Yes, exactly.
Communism.
Yes, that's a good thing. I don't understand why people think communism is not a good thing unless they confuse communism just being only USSR and only China.
Yes.
Communism means with government come in and take your house and make you share spoon.
Communism is coming in, taking everyone's toothbrushes and like redistributing the toothbrushes to everyone. That toothbrush is everyone else's toothbrushes. Like, no, that it's gross. That's your toothbrush for hygiene purposes. You have your own toothbrush. It's the toothbrush factory that is owned by the workers, and they will produce toothbrushes according to need. When there's no need for toothbrushes, power down machines or repurpose them to make something else. Or power them down completely and just go off and do the thing too. And then like when people is like, hey, I'm out of toothbrushes. Oh, there's a need. So like let's like power out the machines, make a couple of toothbrushes, and there you go. And then shut it off again when the need's met. How hard is that to understand for people?
Well, you gotta remember, people are not really that bright, so you know, I don't know. People want to be lied to, I guess.
It's people. I think I mentioned this to Lincoln before a couple of times on like their streams. I honestly think people are afraid.
Yes, they are.
They're just afraid of realizing they don't have to work 40 hours a week. They're afraid of like maybe being truly free in that sense. They're afraid of what they do not know. It's kind of the saying is they prefer the devil they know versus the devil they don't know.
Easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism.
Yeah. And you see, guys will say communism is great on paper, anarchism is great on paper, but it's just like you're fans of Star Trek with a post-scarcity society where no one has to like work.
Yeah, but that's not real.
Well, yeah, the Steve Jobs always says it's a fictional show. Yes. But we can live in a post scarcity society now as like 40% like we produce enough food to feed the world 1.2 times over. But we don't because the food is produced not for its use value, but for exchange value.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
hence why they throw it away, pour bleach on it, and surround it with barbed wire fences rather than just give it away.
Yeah, the 40% of the food is ever produced is never eaten at all. Is because the food is produced to make profits. And if it doesn't make profits, but even if it doesn't make profits or it's not good enough as well too, which is like maybe a slight blemish on it as well too. Honestly, if there's just like one mark on an apple, they'll just like toss it as well too. To be fair, sometimes I probably wouldn't eat that apple if there's no mark on it, but like some people wouldn't, but but there's so much food because they only want the top A grade like apples or produce to like go on the shelves as well too, and they always they always overstock as well too. And yeah, for the apples or the other food products that like are healthy enough to eat, they're just like past their expiration date for some reason, and the expiration dates differ from like this. And sometimes it's not expiration date, but best buy date as well too. So it's still good after that date. It's just not at its best, but still edible. And yes, George B, they will put locks on the dumpsters, and sometimes he even have security guards outside those dumpsters to guarding trash because they don't want people to be dumpster diving, to like go into the trash and stealing the food that is going to be rot and going to be thrown away anyway, because they still view that as the company still viewed that food in the dumpster in the trash as their property, private property, because again, they profit off of it. And so they want to guard it because and also both the Fifth Comic Con mentions as well too. There's how there are trees in like cities. There's always like parks and like trees and other things like that. There are never trees that actually produce food. You can easily put an apple tree if like apples grow in the Seattle or in that region. You can put cherry trees. You can put fruit trees. You can put foliage or like bushes and stuff that produce something as well too. Why do they not do that? Because that will hurt the business at the grocery stores. It's hurt the capitalist interest, and it's the capitalist interest, like the billionaires and the millionaires and all that sort of people that like fund the politicians that like run for elections and get elected to the city councils or the mayors or the local governments and on and so forth as well like that. And so that's why the Democrats or other politicians will always go with a compromise. They don't want food security because that's bad for business. So they go with the compromise of keeping the market is there still as it is, but here's the food stamp card, or here's SNAP. Here's just like money to buy food as well too, which is why I have my issues with affordable housing. Affordable to who?
Mm-hmm.
And once you like make a line and saying like this is affordable housing, there will be people under that line, and I care about those people as well too. But also it's just like it's again, it doesn't get to the root problem of like the housing crisis as well too. It's because like just like with food, houses are not made or bought and sold for its use value. They're bought and sold and like made for the exchange value.
Hence why every single one is designed around the nuclear family rather than extended family or other living arrangements.
Yeah. Or communal living of some kind as well too. As probably with the apartments in the same way as well too.
Fuck Airbnb.
Yeah, fuck Airbnb.
I mean, we need something like it for people who are on the move a lot, but
yeah.
Hey, we have hotels for that shit.
I mean, don't hate Airbnb too much because I'm probably going to use them for my trip to Kennedy Space this fall.
Yeah.
Or
Airbnb is one of the reasons why rent prices are going up. It's mostly because of billionaires buying up all the houses and turning them into rental properties, but also Airbnb.
Or would you rather me just spend $400 at a hotel
I mean, if you're going,
I mean,
if you're
you have
going,
to do what you have to do to survive. I'm
yeah, we
criticizing
live on the
them, not
capitalism.
you.
Yes, exactly. It's hate game, not the player, as it were. But we're hating the player of Airbnb because they're playing the game. But we're hating Airbnb specifically, not you, Isaiah, for using their services. It's kind of like it's like there's no
Like Uber shouldn't exist either, but I still need to work.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of white male doctors in the U.S., Kirok. Okay, so so for those of you who are watching who didn't watch last week's show as well, too, this going back to like our conversation about how Kirok does value doctors over fast food workers. So just be clear, Kirok, you can specify this. You do value a certain classification of people, right? Not necessarily individuals, because that's an important distinction. Yeah, I value some individuals less than like others because like some individuals are pieces of shit. Um, but that's because like they have done something that I think is like you're less than a human being in my book as well too, like fascists and Nazis and white supremacists, as others point out. And I do value some people more than others because they're my friends, they're my family members, they're people I love and care about too. But that doesn't mean I'm going to like treat like in non-friends or non-family members or strangers or like coworkers or other people as like shits because like they should deserve at least baseline of like niceness or kindness from me if like they just want the time of day 4 p.m. or whatever. Oh, here's the bus episode there, so on and so forth as well too. But like do you value certain classifications of people higher than others? Kira, could be like my um clarifying question.
Of course,
Now,
there are people other than white men in the medical profession,
but it's
such
just like
as
what
the token in the Republican Party.
Ben Carson.
I mean, but the fact is that the medical profession exemplifies a lot, a lot of the bigotries that our society cherishes, and that the profession of doctors is heavily masculinized, the profession of nurses is heavily feminized.
Yep,
And
exactly.
racial bias comes into both of those as well. And frankly, being a doctor is like it's the upper class equivalence of the HVAC repair school. It's a trade profession, but we treat it like something that's much, much better.
Yeah. And again, like we mentioned last week, Kirak, you think that like a doctor should be more highly valued in society, or you value doctors as a class of people more than say fast food workers as a class of people, because doctors have to go to school for 8 years and then 4 years of on-job training, and so do 12 years of training, which that's privilege to be able to like work or school for 8 years or 12 years without pay. That's privilege. Is Gearlock?
When you live in a food desert, fast food is not necessarily a luxury. If you cannot actually buy food to make it home, if you have to work 2 jobs, meaning that you're working like 80, 90 hours a week, then you cannot necessarily prepare food at home.
Gearlock, I had frozen taquitos this morning. Is that a luxury food?
And you're looking at somebody who works 80 hours a week. Yeah. Well, maybe not that much. It's maybe 60.
Yeah, 60. Because like if I worked today, I would be 70. I was at work until like 11 p.m., 11:30. And so I had to like take a different bus. I didn't get home last night until like 2 a.m. or something like that, or 1:30 a.m. But food is necessary. Food is a need. And the thing is, Kirog, it's interesting how you say fast food is a luxury period, not a need. I gave money to Joanne Roberts yesterday because she was craving a burger. But yet that's a luxury. I should like give her like $40, but tell her to only like buy oatmeal at the store or something like that. And also like so like for speaking of Joanne Roberts and like maybe I'm not sure how true this is still, but definitely was true for a while, probably still is true, that like and people say, oh, what about like the food banks? It's like, yes, she has food banks in like where she lives. She doesn't have a car,
because, well, she only paid $1,200 a month for SSDI. And so owning a car for that, even if she can drive, she has to take the bus. The buses in her area have a rule that you can only take 2 bags with you. And even by taking the bus to the food bank, it's like an hour or 2 away. So you're taking a day trip to go grocery shopping at the food bank for 2 bags of food. And also, now you probably are not disagreeing with this because you have said many times before that like disabled people should have their amenities for them. Disabled people should not have to work. So you do care for disabled people as well too. But that's why for disabled people, sometimes they need fast food because for something as simple as like boiling water in a kettle on the stove, that can be like they can't do that for some disabled people because like that's just like too many spoons. They use up all their spoons because they showered today, and so they just like are out. They just like exhausted. They have like a fatigue spike, and they just can't do anything else. So they cannot cook food. They cannot prep food, and they cannot do anything like that. So they'll go with the luxury item of fast food or order out or take out or anything
And that's
like that.
another example of the ghetto tax.
Yes,
Because
agreed.
if they could buy raw food and prepare it at home, they would save a shit ton of money. But they don't have the time, the capacity, the resources to actually do that.
You can also say that about alcohol too. Why is there always like a liquor store in
Yeah.
There's always so many advertisements for cigarettes at like in the ghettos, those like corner
Vapes,
stores.
I think you'll find.
Yeah,
Yeah,
vapes.
and I'll go even further. This is actually happening here in Tallahassee. They on the south side of town, they've closed down most of the grocery stores, and there's like liquor stores there now.
Now here's the interesting thing as well too that like curiosity.
You seem very
Curiosity pointing out to me that like how many people will scoff at giving a homeless person a cigarette. However, everyone has their vices. One thing, everyone has his vices, and yeah, there's a homeless person. Why need a cigarette? No. If a homeless person does get like a cigarette, it is an appetite suppressant. It doesn't technically fill them up, but it gets rid of the hunger for a moment. And so it's a moment of relief for them, for a homeless person. It's a moment of relief for them to like as many smoking cigarettes. You can still say the cigarettes are luxury items as well too, but it's kind of like I guess the Bible is like a story. It's just like learn to walk a mile in someone's shoes is worth.
Booze, cigarettes, weed, relaxation is a human need. We need to not be working all the time.
Yeah.
We need rest.
Here's the thing, Kurok. One of the times in human history where there's the least alcohol consumption there was in the population, Catalonia, and like from 1936 to 1939, the Spanish anarchists. So when there wasn't capitalism. It's capitalism that caused us to like want to like go to a vice of like a depressant like alcohol or like something to relax with like with weed as well too. Yeah, I agree. Homeless people are living pretty good lives. Why would it deprive them of a little pressure in their lives? Exactly. So and one big problem as well too that I pointed out to as I pointed out to my question to Steve Shives is like Kurok, like the reason why I kind of like push back on like your assertion that like able-bodied people, but like that shouldn't disabled people should have their own needs and amenities met, but able-bodied people should take personal responsibility. Is like why are you mean testing? Why are you mean testing the benefit system? Because to me, like determining if someone is able-bodied or not is one step of like mean testing in and of itself.
It's like the whole thing about UBI and so on. Like, why would you give money to those rich people? It's like, look, I don't give a shit. If a guy makes $100,000 a year, giving him another $1,000 a year isn't going to make a difference. Somebody makes $20,000 a year, giving them $1,000 will make a huge difference. Who gives a shit? Just give everyone $1,000 a year. I don't think UBI is the way to go because landlords will just raise the rent $1,000. But
unless we cap them, yeah.
But I mean,
we can, yeah. Which is why I'm for like the universal basic service as well too. Which is like but again, it's just like, yeah, that means like some a super rich person is if wants to can is off it has the same offer to free housing as like say someone else is like poor as well too. Now granted, I wish that like rich people weren't a thing, but that's part of the big project of like getting rid of capitalism because I don't want the delineation classes of like small business owners or rich people and everyone else. Um, but in speaking of, and now back to like how many people are working 8 hours a week and stuff like that, so we kind of have to like need midnight pizza delivery people as well too. That was the classification of bullshit jobs that like David Grader pointed out, because we are working so many bullshit jobs for so many hours, we don't like eat properly. So then we create other jobs, not necessarily bullshit jobs in itself. Pizza delivery person is serving a good as well too, and maybe it's a shit job depending on who you ask as well too. Like fast food workers, it definitely is a shit job as we talked about last week. But like they are in there, it's a job that's created that doesn't need it because we shouldn't be working as much. We shouldn't be working till like midnight in order to be like they have to like satisfy a hunger and need a pizza delivery guy at that time. And just like how like there are many buildings that are just like need services, so like janitorial work, custodial work, or the maintenance and that sort of thing too. But yet it's for a financial business, and finances really is a bullshit industry. It just really is unnecessarily. But yet like there are real jobs, non bullshit jobs that are in service of bullshit as well too. So it's like it's a whole thing. But yeah. I think that covered like all the topics that I had prepared because like yeah, just gonna update like things. So I know anything
Let's
else happening?
see. Apart from Trump being on the verge of winning
Yeah.
and making the same fucking mistake we made, say, 8 fucking years ago.
Thoughts about the debate coming up?
Nah, it'll be the same shit show.
Yeah, and I like Steve's idea. It's just like don't have an audience for that sort of thing too. Because like that's what serves Trump for that there being an audience because like he knows how to be the heel as well too, like in wrestling terms.
Mm.
And he'll play through the crowd, and the crowd sometimes will hoot and holler.
People said that
And
same thing in 2016, and right now he's ahead in the polls, Kirok.
yeah.
His fan
Oh,
base do not care about the fact that he's a criminally insane, narcissistic piece of shit. They love the fact that he is a full spectrum bigot who will harm the people they hate. They are all in.
mm-hmm.
And Biden was always a bad candidate. He's never going to be a good candidate. He's weak. And he's getting increasingly unpopular because young people don't support Iraq or Israel.
Israel.
It's a shit show, and the Democrats are fucking up again.
Yeah.
Of course, he's going to tear this country apart. That's kind of the point. They don't want this country. They want a different country.
Mm-hmm.
They want the fascist Jesusocracy.
Yeah.
But the Nazis and the Klan are going to turn out for him again. He's going to get 80 million votes, and I don't know if Biden can beat that.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so it's like, and as always with the electoral system, as especially for the president, as undemocratic it is, our votes will matter. The votes in the battleground states are the votes that will matter the most as well too.
Yeah, the Democrats keep winning by 10,000, or sorry, winning by millions, losing by 10,000.
Yep. I don't know if like another country will actually attack us. Honestly, why? That's a fear I don't understand. We're surrounded by oceans. We're just like we're so protected by like not being attacked that like yeah. And then last time that we were actually attacked was just like we didn't like spend like 20 years on war and terror.
Yeah, I mean, the only country that could or would attack us would be China, and they don't want to or need to. We're the ones trying to build up war for them.
What about Russia?
I think Putin wouldn't mind attacking us. I just don't think he has a reason to.
Generotocracy mixed with a kleptocracy.
Gerontocracy mixed with a kleptocracy. Gerontocracy means rule by the elderly.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, exactly. Honestly, hey, and the kleptocracy. I have heard the kleptocracy before. I have to be reminded of like what exactly that means, though.
Being ruled by thieves.
Oh, okay, yeah. Agreed there as well too.
Oligarchy, plutocracy, both pretty much synonymous with kleptocracy.
Yeah, makes sense. Honestly, yeah, oligarchy. Yeah, that's the thing. We're designed to be an oligarchical system that like pretends to be a democratic system. And I know some liberals, even friends of mine, but we're a public democracy. So like you're just playing semantics right there. And how that disproves what I'm saying? Yes, you're technically
What is democracy?
right,
Ruled by the people. Yeah, let's see. Maybe vulnerable for an attack. The fact is that there's not really any value in that kind of attack, that kind of war. It would be like, 9/11 style thing, maybe, if people who just want to hurt us. And there are plenty of people who just want to hurt us. But given that we would be fucking ourselves in the face with a knife, they would be happy to sit back and watch, I think.
Just like with January 6th, because of the COVID restrictions, we could not coup another country before, so we decided to coup ourselves.
Yeah.
And,
a system in which judges are political appointees isn't a democracy. Yeah, well, the U.S. definitely isn't a democracy. Never was, never has been.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, I agree.
But the thing about judges is that's one of those positions where you can't just take a random person, put them in there, give them education, and have experts to guide them. They have to be an expert themselves.
I agree.
That has to be a sort of self-correcting system. And I think we would have to have a court system of some kind, even under communism. Criminal and civil, because there's always going to be disagreements. There's always going to be crimes.
Yeah. Which, again, part of the reason why I didn't have too much of a problem doing jury duty, and in that case, too, since it was saying be assault in second degree, and it was a white man, too, so it's I didn't feel bad. But also, I could separate, no, I'm just determining whether or not, state proved their case that, this man is guilty of a crime or something, or the crime that they're charging him with, and the sentencing is going to happen later. And again,
and also, there's always the possibility of jury nullification.
Yeah. Now, if I got the question that Joe, one of the questions that Joe McClure was asked, could I sentence someone or be in service of jury, trying to prove the person committed the crime or broke a law that I do not personally agree with? And no. If I disagree with the law, think the law should not exist, I'm not going to say this person is guilty of that law if I think the law is unjust. Full service sex work. We should decriminalize that one for hell. Use the New Zealand model because that's what sex workers actually prefer. The New Zealand model as opposed to the Sweden model.
If I can Uber, then anyone should be allowed to be a hoe.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, because we're all selling our bodies anyway to capitalism. Let me
tell you, even sitting down to do my job for hours at a time, I feel it when I'm done.
Same with at my job at work. Now, most of the time I am standing up and moving around, and yesterday I did work a lot as well too. And the only reason I was there for so late is because I was distracted by so many different things, and it was on a couple of friends' streams as well too. Because the Metallica concert was happening in Fortnite as well too, and so I was on the clock on my job in the Metallica concert in Fortnite. So yeah, agreed. The UK
Mithril, UK judges are supposed to be above politics, and I kind of get the feeling that they kind of are. I'd be interested in hearing how the UK public feels about that. Are they?
Yeah.
Because I know in the US they are not.
Mithril, maybe Mithril. So
we are past time now, so maybe.
Well, yeah.
Maybe you can come on next week and we can talk about that.
Yes. But also because next week will be the last Sunday before the UK's election on July 4th, and so that'll be a great time to have Mithril on to talk about the UK election.
And I love to have Mithril and Kirok on.
Mithril and Kirok on the same call together.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Fight.
I don't say, but the thing is, why have
no? I mean, we I don't know what they would talk about with each other. Just, I think we would have more interesting conversations with each of them separately.
Yeah, exactly. It's because like we had like enough conversations with just Kirok and like us. And,
Just
like,
Kirok today. I mean, and yeah.
Yeah, true. But anyway, yes, yeah. So we're at the we're like a bit past the like our 90-minute mark as well too. So we usually end our stream as well too. So Isaiah Taylor, what do you want to promote that you're like have to promote?
I don't have anything to promote right now.
You finished your Blackstronaut.
Yes.
Go to his Instagram and find out his Blackstronaut cosplay.
Galactic Cosplay Crafts.
Afronaut.
Yep.
No, Afronaut is a white guy going to Africa. Damn it.
What is wrong with you? Just gonna like find Galactic and Cosplay Crafts. Well, too. There we go. No, they didn't have it. There we go. Okay, and there's the Instagram. Gonna post it in the live chat as well too. Just bounce around ideas. I don't go with anyone and turning it up. Well, I'm sure you would, Mitchell. Honestly, you'll be like with someone that has like a lot of ideas and a lot to talk about as well too. That like just having you on, just have you on will be like great and awesome. But I think it'll be like good to have you
also
on.
love that Mancunian accent.
But I think it would be good to have you on to talk about the UK election since that is coming up and how you feel about it as well too. So yeah, Isaiah Terra has Galactic Cosplay Crafts. Isaiah Terra also has like a Sinister Intelligence YouTube channel and the Autistic Monitoring Society YouTube channel. The videos are still up there as well too. And
I don't have anymore.
okay, that's fine. But I am Summer Geek, not rising to the bait, John. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm Summer Geek on most of the social media sites like Threads, Blue Sky, co-host, Tumblr, Twitter, and I am also on Summer Geek on like Twitch and YouTube, and like I probably am going to I was because of that question that C-Shive was like asked about like Islamic wokeness. I was like, you know what? Let me read this like article from this Colonial Palestine on pink washing, and it's also this is perfect for like the genocide still going on, and also it's Pride Month, so why not? I'll probably will do that once I get off this call. So like I'll be like live on Twitch and YouTube, Summer Geek on both platforms to be like reading that article and then like figuring out what to play afterwards as well too. And John Brockman, you're part of another podcast, aren't you?
Dungeons and Debacles. D&D podcast. Just a heck of a lot of fun. Very different from this. And I don't know if we've updated at all in the last like 4 years.
You listen to the old shows and they're quite entertaining.
All right.
Except for the time that you were cops.
Yeah, that was, and I don't think we posted any of those. So, although technically we are still cops. But hey, we brought in a person who might be a secret traitor, and we might get another TPK, and we get to be not cops. It's not night; it's 3:30, Mithril. God. Bye-bye.
Hey, time is relative. Bye, everyone. Charity links page. Don't forget to help out our comrades in need.
See you later.